It's lovely to see you back again here on Court Farm for episode 10 with me, Mr. Sealy P. It's October 2 here on Court Farm. As you've already seen, the 2 baling contracts that I took on at the end of the last episode have been done. I'll show the bales in just a moment. So the money for KCC has gone up. We have got an offer. Well, I've got an offer. You know, I was talking about a tractor. We've got an offer. Local farmer watched the video and has offered me a tractor, but I don't have any money. KCC does. So I'm going to probably borrow some money from the bank to pay for it, I think. That's what I'm going to do. They want 50 grand for it. It might be a little bit steep, but I don't know. It's an old MASSEY, which I'm kind of looking forward to. I've been in here out of the rain. As you can see, it's 12:38. The rain just did not want to let up. But as far as KCC contracts go, we've got a couple of cultivating contracts and we've got a harvesting contract. Now that harvesting contract has got to be done before the end of October, because that's for soybean. That's when the harvesting time runs out, and 2 cultivating jobs. So what we're going to do for KCC, rather than have a cultivator delivered in, we're going to be using some of the KCC finances that we've earned to buy a cultivator. So we're going to be getting a new piece of equipment, not just borrowed from Court Farm. So we come out now because it's not raining. So the hay baling contract, this is what we were left over with. All of that. We're not really using hay at the moment because we're not making total mixed ration. We're using straw for bedding. So yeah, but that was left over. I suppose we could have just sold it, but we'll keep hold of it for the time being. We can always sell it if we need to. And then as far as the silage baling goes, probably what I need to do as well is cut a couple more of these and push a couple more in. But the cows are very happy. We had these left over, so we had these 2 piles from before that we bought down from Court Farm. This was left over from the contract we did for the silage baling contract. So yeah, we're keeping up with making sure we've got plenty of silage bales on hand so we can feed the cows. So we're happy with that. We also need to get out into these fields and we need to do soil sampling. So what I'm going to do, we're going to drive out to this farm. Oh, mind you, if I drive out, don't have to leave the Land Rover there. This is where we need a trailer actually, because I could drive out with the Land Rover, put the tractor on the trailer and bring it back. But we don't actually have one, do we? Not a flatbed type trailer. It doesn't have to be something particularly big, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a wander out actually. We've got lighting in the yard which I turned on last night because we were bringing bales back and it was dark and we couldn't really see what we were doing. And the lighting is over here. So we'll turn the lighting off in the yard, we don't need that on. And we're heading over in this direction. What we will do is also whiz up to the store and we're going to get a cultivator. Now, I'm trying to pick something different. So we're going to go with the disc harrow. Now, could I get a cheaper regular cultivator? Yes. There are tons available, and I generally speaking will go for the best bang for my buck. Now, there is a disc harrow which is only 10 grand and it's a case one. It's a 9.8 metre, which is brilliant, but folded it's too big. As we found with the 3 metre stuff that wouldn't, or the stuff that wouldn't fold up less than 3 metres, getting it through the lanes is unbelievably difficult. So what I've found is, I think it's a Vertex design one. So we're just taking a wander cross country, why not? It's over, I think it's that direction. I've lost myself now. I'm sure it's over there. But again, hey, we're just taking the scenery while we go. So I've got the soil sampling to do. We've got a couple of cultivating contracts to do. So we'll go and get the tractor first. I need to switch account. Actually, we'll do that now while we're wandering over. So while we're wandering, let's switch over to my bank account. As you see, my money's gone down a little bit. Hey, I've had costs and outlays. I've had to pay for my food and that kind of thing. How many months in now? August, September, October. Yeah, so we're a couple of months through. So, and I haven't been paid yet. Just been using what money I've got in the bank account. So hopefully when we get paid, that will be able to help pay off our loan. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes. We still need to build Court Farm, and you know, there's all sorts of stuff we need to be doing. If I got this completely wrong, it might be a lot further over than I thought. No, I'm heading towards the windmill. We need to be going this way. I might be over there. Was that the direction I was pointing? Anyway, so on our account, what we're going to do is we're going to go to... We are going to borrow from the bank. We're not going to borrow from Winscombe Post Office, which is the main sort of local area place we can go and get money from down the road. So we could use that bank account, borrow it from them and pay it back whenever we wanted to. But to make it more fair and more realistic, we will take out a loan which will have interest on it. So we need to borrow. I wonder if I can get them down from 50 to 40 maybe. Let's go 45. I've borrowed 45 grand. So if we can get them down, we will. I have completely lost myself. I'll see you at the farm in a minute. I'm sure it's out this way. I need to check the map. It was all done in the dark. Yeah. It's the road over here. Hit this road and then head up. So we'll head up to the store. We'll grab the soil sampler first. We are going to get one of the ones that has got a wider range, but I'm not going to go for the biggest. So it's like one soil sample does the entire field. We'll probably go for a medium or a large. I'm sure we did XL. What did we do on Carpathian? I'm trying to remember. There we go, up here. Now when I came to look at this, when it was offered, it was filthy. But the pouring rain may have washed it clean. Or cleaner, anyway. Where are we? It was in this yard. Where's I going? Oh, there we go. Here it is. Oh, yeah, look at that. That was absolutely filthy. Oh, I suppose it's still... There's a little bit of dirt on there. Look at that. 3120. On narrow, so we might have to do a little bit of changing around. And I might have to sort myself out with a personalised number plate, as is often the way. Like I said, I watched the Ollie blogs I saw one from when he did the tractor run, or he went to a tractor run, and I thought, you know what, I just want an old Massey. There were there were smaller ones that I could have looked at, but this is the sort of style I don't know. I like this. I like the older ones as well, but this one's got 120 horsepower. And this is mine, or it will be mine. Oh, I suppose before I drive off, we should really pay for it, shouldn't we? I'm going to pop next door. I think that's the farm office, but the farm's here. Let's pay for this. Scale open? Oh, hop the fence. Got them down to 43. They wanted 50. I thought 45, but we got them down to 43. That's not a bad price. We'll take that. Where did I leave? So, to the store. At least with it being on narrows as well, if we've got the first field that we're going to be doing the soil sample on is one we harvested, so that's not a problem, but I think the other two have got crops in. Actually, that's a point. We need to check that. When are they going to be... Oh, it's on KCC. So it's on KCC. Hang on. Three and 2. Oh no, we're early on, I guess, aren't we? No, they won't be ready. Oh, that's alright. So, but they are going to need soil sampling, because I don't know if we're going to get away with any, what's the word I'm looking for? any more fertilising or anything on them. I don't know what we'll be able to do. So I suppose what we could also look at, and we're going to have to check the cows as well, up at Court Farm, is the slurry situation. Oh, little farm here as well. We'll carry on straight up past the stores. Oh, lovely. Heading down the hill to the store. So, ISARIA Scout, soil sampler, and then cultivator for KCC. You got to weigh up with doing the soil sampling, especially if you use the standard in-game one, depending on the size of the fields, because you've got the option now to purchase soil information. It comes down to the leasing costs of the piece of equipment, and whether you've got the time, the inclination, all those sorts of things. It depends what you want to do. Turn the lights off, hop out, pop into the shop. So, if we go... to here, we need, so like I say, cultivators, it's a standard. You kind of jump on cultivators. There's more options, there's a lot of cheaper options, much wider, much cheaper. That's generally what I go for. I get clobbered for doing it, but it just makes more sense business wise, but you do then fall into that trap of doing it. So we're going to go with the disc harrow. My option was one, I say my option, there are loads of options, but you got that speed tiller there, which is 12.5 meters, it's 112,500. Then you got this one here, the 490, which is 10 grand for 9.8 meters. Only problem is it's wide. It's no good for the narrow lanes. It's just not going to work. So I thought this one, the turbo harrow, I think it's a Vertex design made, 6 meters wide, 160 horsepower required. No good for the tractor I'm using at the moment, or the tractor I've just bought, but for the equipment we've got for KCC, that'll work perfectly. We're going to have it lights mounted. It's not too expensive either, 23,250, and we're going to leave it orange. So we're going to buy one of those. So we're actually, rather than getting stuff down from Chadlington, from KCC, and rather than borrowing stuff from Court Farm, we're trying to get ourselves into a position where we can start buying our own equipment. So we become like a satellite office, a branch office of KCC, kind of. That's what I'm hoping for. As far as the Scout goes, so that's the standard. I'm pretty sure we used the XXL or the XL, didn't we, on Carpathian? I can't remember. I know on one or some of them we have also, let's change the colour of that to, I don't know, just keep it nice and bright so we can see it. We'll lease that. So the lease cost is 874. I mean, that's the cost of 8 soil samples to have them sent off. So you've got to ask yourself, depending on what size you go for, like I say, if we go onto our map and we go up to there, our precision foaming, those ones, because Court Farm had some money, they decided they were just going to purchase soil information. If we click on the fields here that KCC have got down the bottom, purchase soil information. So if purchasing the soil information comes in at more than the lease cost of the ISARIA, and then however many soil samples we take, because they have to be sent off to be done, that's where you've got to weigh it up. It's entirely your choice what you want to do. So I thought we'll do some soil sampling. We haven't done it for a bit, so that's what we're going to be doing. So problem is with our new, or new to me, our new little MASSEY doesn't have a front 3-point. I was going to take the Scout on the front and that on the back. Whilst it won't run that, we could get it down to the farm, but we can't. So we're just going to take the Scout, we'll do the soil sampling, and then we'll come back up, we'll grab that cultivator, we'll get the cultivating jobs done. So what I want to get done in this episode, I want to get the soil sampling sorted, and I want to get the cultivating jobs done. Let's look out, line that up, hook that up. Let's go. So, on our way back, days since our last accident. You probably saw it on the thumbnail. One. It's not a laughing matter. We had a bit of an incident. I had people asking me, because I said in my episode Friday, and then I did a map tour Saturday. I said Saturday, depending on how I was feeling, that was my depending on how I was feeling, I was thinking about streaming SnowRunner, and I was feeling really ropey Saturday. So I made the map tour, sat there for a bit, and thought, you know what, I need to go in. I had a splitting headache. You know, anyway, all that aside, got up Sunday, thought I'm not feeling too bad. I'm going to go out, and I was either going to stream SnowRunner or I was going to stream episode 2. It's been over a week of my live Alma series. I thought, you know what, we'll jump on. I'll go on maybe mid-afternoon to early evening. I'll go live. Brilliant. So I came out, got a few bits prepped here and there, and was kind of quite happy. I was getting myself set up, ready to go. Mrs. P came out to bring me a cup of coffee, which she does a lot. She's a lovely, lovely person doing that. And we had an accident. Mrs. P slipped over on the deck outside and fell on her back and slammed her back into the steps that come down from the deck to the man cave. All I heard was her scream and the crash as she fell down. By the time I got out there, she was flat on her back. The dog obviously was panicking and was licking her face and freaking out. And it's all my fault. I feel absolutely awful. So she wasn't in such a bad way she needed to go to hospital or anything like that. But what happened was the deck, when it gets to normally before the summer season starts, after winter, I will go out, I'll jet wash the deck, and normally once every 2 years I'll apply wood stain, deck stain, wood preserver onto the deck when the weather warms up a bit, so it can dry nice and quickly, ready for the summer. And then we go through the summer. We didn't have a fantastic summer this year. We had some warm weather. The kids will spend a lot of time out on the deck in the evenings with their boyfriends and friends, and we have done a few barbecues and bits and bobs, which a lot of people do. And then what will normally happen is, as the weather starts to turn and we start to get into the wintry period, I will jet wash it again prior to winter, because our garden is surrounded by other gardens and there's hedges and fences and trees, and we've got a lot of ivy growing. We get a lot of kind of algae when it rains. This sort of algae, green algae, forms on the deck, and it becomes incredibly slippery. I mean, like really slippery. So normally I give it a good jet wash before we head into the winter, so then even if we get a bit of rain and we might get a little bit of algae form, it's not so much. I need to keep going, don't I? I need to go up to that field first. It's not so much that it becomes dangerous. And I had every intention, I'm going to get the jet wash out, we'll get it sorted. And of course, in the UK, it has been bucketing down with rain for day after day after day. So I hadn't done it, and I should have done it by now. And yeah, so she slipped over on the slippery deck and smacked her back, and was not in a good way. So after she slipped over and went in, I thought, well, that's it. I've got to. It wasn't raining Sunday, so I thought, I've gone too far past it. Let me put it in here. Has that car gone past? Has now. I thought, you know what, just to make sure no one else falls over, because the kids do come out, they'll bring me drinks out, they'll come out with farm dog, they'll come out and say hello, and I didn't want anyone else getting hurt, and I didn't want Mr. P falling over, and I didn't want to fall over. So I thought, you know what we'll do? We'll get the jet wash on. I need that open, I've missed the turning yet. We'll get the jet wash on and I'll get it cleared. It took me 4.5 hours. By the time I finished, my wrists, my hands were agony, and I went to go and get my cup of coffee, and my hand, because the vibration of the jet wash, my hands were shaking uncontrollably. I couldn't stop them shaking. By the time I'd done all that, it was quite late, so I didn't end up streaming. I went in to check on Miss Silly P, and so yeah, not a great weekend, unfortunately. But the deck is now clean again and cleared. The other thing I've been thinking of doing potentially was trying to find some offcuts of, you know, the artificial grass that a lot of people have in their gardens now. You can get all different grades of it, different thicknesses, and you know, animal friendly ones as well. If you've got dogs, it's easier for cleaning up mess and that kind of stuff. I was trying to find somewhere that did offcuts of that, because if I can find a bit that's like 1 metre wide but about 5-6 metres long, if not a little bit longer, during the winter, because I'm out here all the time now, because my studio is now out here, is from the back door out to the steps down, and maybe a couple of strips on the steps, is have some like fake grass, astroturf type stuff rolled out like a carpet so that it doesn't get slippery. So I was having a look. Even the offcuts, they are not cheap. I mean, stupidly expensive. So yeah, wasn't impressed with that either. I thought I'll just get a roll of that. I'll get the jet wash done, get it sorted, and at least that way through the winter everyone will be safe. You know, like I say, in previous years, pretty much other than letting the dog out in the garden, even if it's snowing and the weather's really bad, we don't really come out very much. We don't have barbecues in the winter. We've had the occasional Boxing Day barbecue when we've had everyone here, but yeah, so yeah, wasn't great. Just thought I'd let you all know. That's unfortunately what my weekend was like. I hope yours was better. So the first one's going to be a bit of a sort of guess really. We need to unfold the soil sampling unit. That's the circle, is it? Okay. Oh, that's actually way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Although it does cover almost that. So if I now go, I want to cover as much as I can. Right, so just looking at the map bottom left. First one done. So we are going to overlap by quite a bit here, but I do need to do 2 on this one. Right, so our other 2 fields then is the field next door and then that one to the side of it. So what we should have now, oh we haven't sent it off yet have we? Of course not. So next field over. It will certainly work out a cheaper alternative than, and this is why we got, what's the word I want to say? Why I haven't changed the tyres over? Because I knew we'd have crop to go onto, so getting this with narrows on it has actually been advantageous. Let's go down a bit. Constantly keeping a check on my map to the bottom. Let's go a little bit more that direction to about there. Let's have a look. Yeah, it won't show us there, will it? Okay, if I go like that and that though, how are we looking? Be 3 on this one, then 2 on the next one I reckon. Just look at the size of them. If I go that way, so yeah, it's weird isn't it? It's that strange thing. I feel so guilty and so bad for what happened. And like Mr. P said, look, don't worry about it. You know, any one of us could come out and jet wash the deck, and it's that thing I've always said about. It's that conversation about pink jobs and blue jobs, isn't it? You know, and I know there are plenty of people that cross over and do all of them. You know, my brother always has this conversation with his family, and it's a sweeping statement that kind of men do blue jobs, women do pink jobs, and that may be the case in a lot of families and a lot of situations, not always. But it's one of those jobs that I always do. It's just I do the jet washing. That's kind of, you know, my son before he moved out loved doing it. It was one of those jobs. Oh, can I please do it? I was like, yeah, go for it. I don't particularly enjoy doing it, but yeah, absolutely go for it. So he would always sort of crack on with it. But then once he moved out, he doesn't do it anymore. And I said to Mississippi, like, I'm so sorry. I should have done it before now. This shouldn't have ever happened. Like she said, I could have come out and jet washed the deck anytime, and I didn't either. So don't beat yourself up over it. But it's difficult not to, especially when one of your loved ones is hurt, and it's hurt they're hurt because of something you did or didn't do, you know, it's terrible. Right now, I could, if I wanted to, drive through the hedges. There are hedges if we want to, but that's not really what we should be doing because realistically you wouldn't. So what I've got to do is drive around. We'll come at this from the other side. So what we've got to do is go back along the lane to here, back down to the farm, and then we'll come in from the field that side. And then what we'll do is we can, once they're all done, we'll send off the soil samples. Although I haven't got the option. Oh, I do it from here, don't I? Of course I do. See you over there in a minute. Okay, in across the top of the yard. We want, what field is it? This one here. I think we're on 6 soil samples so far, so we're going to be looking at 8. So 800 plus the 800 we've already spent. Probably still works out cheaper than. I mean, I probably could have gone with the one down from this. I could have gone for the. What did we go for in the end? I could probably could have gone for the medium. In all honesty, yeah, one more right slap bang about there. Don't think we've missed very much either. Drop that down. Soil sample done. Raise that up. Fold it up. Let's get out of the field. Then it's L1 and triangle. Soil samples are now sent to a laboratory for analysis. You will see the results on the soil map, the soil types map soon. Did that charge us? Or did we get charged? I don't know. Didn't we just fold that away? There we go. Right, so what we're going to do now is grab the, probably the Puma actually. The Puma's got the oomph to grab these, go and grab the cultivator we bought. Well, we should have got a weight, shouldn't we? The 2 weights belong to Corp Farm. We don't own one, so we probably could do with the front weight as well if we're going to start increasing the amount of equipment we've got. I have moved the gear around because I put those hay bales in the field. There you go, 800 for soil sample analysis. So there's 1,600 in total, and we should now have our information. There we go. So that's our pH, nitrogen, and that explains why the yield was so poor. There's nothing on any of them. So the question is, because they're in early stages of growth, we should be able to get on there actually and do some fertilising, couldn't we? If we grab the fertiliser spreader up from Court Farm, we could get over there actually, and we can get, or we can, at least we can try. I mean, that's probably the best thing. I think the other thing we can do, I need to check the tractors because I'm pretty sure the ones that came from KCC, that one doesn't have the sensors, but that one does. So if we get the rear fertiliser spreader, and if we lease one of the ISARIA bars, because I haven't, in all honesty, the bar, if we go to our miscellaneous, the proactive bar, it does say with the crop sensor you can measure the real nitrogen uptake of the crop to apply more precise fertiliser rates. I don't normally use one of those. I just go for the fact it goes on automatic application rate and bang, off it goes. So I guess that's got a range extension one on that one as well. When it says the range extension, or does that just come? I think it's just been changed. I don't think the range is extended. But I'm thinking then what we should do is lease one of those. Yeah, we will. and we'll get some fertilising done. So what I want to do then, right, I want to get the cultivating sorted. We'll get the Puma up and we'll get that done, and then we'll come back. We'll grab the Claas. We'll go up to Court Farm, grab their fertiliser spreader. What I'll do is I'll bring the sensor back down on the Puma. So the cultivator in the back, Puma. Oh, hang on a minute. I was going to buy a weight, wasn't I? Oh, it doesn't matter. We'll get the stuff down somehow. What we'll do, the Puma's going to go back. I will drop that off. Puma can take that back. We'll grab the cultivator. Let's find somewhere to park this up. Actually, what I will do I want to put different tyres on this? The workshop is just here. Probably could have come in from the other end. As you can see, the Land Rover's already in the workshop. There's a surprise. Land Rover in a workshop? Never. I might change the tyres on that. I said about changing, getting a personalised number plate, maybe. Where's our lighting here? Our lighting is just there. So yeah, we'll see. We'll maybe get the tyres changed and a personalised number plate, and I will whiz up to the store. I'll grab the Puma, get that on the front, and we'll go and grab the cultivator. Okay, we got our sensor and we've got our cultivator on the back. We're heading down to field 20. We've got cultivating on field 20 and cultivating on field 123. 123 is northeast. No, hang on. Yeah, northeast. And this one is down towards the field where we did the cotton harvest. Or actually, is it the cotton harvest field? Bit late indicating there. Never mind. I'm sure it's all fine. So I thought, yeah, we'll head down here. We haven't done much over this side of the map. One of the baling contracts was over this side, so I thought, you know what? Let's head over this way. Got a bend coming up just here. Is that field? I'm trying to think now. Maybe it is. Oh, hold your horses. No, I'm sure it's a much bigger field. Field 20, because this pays £4 grand, so for cultivating it's got to be a bigger field than the one we did the cotton harvesting, because that was tiny. Where are we heading? Oh no, still going. Right, so the question is, how do we get to it? So I'm assuming... Oh no, it is the field. Yeah, it is. It's through the yard. Yeah, it is. That pays a lot. Was it cultivating or fertilising? Have I picked the wrong thing? No, it was definitely... Hang on. It was definitely, but I'm going to check. It was definitely, possibly, yeah, cultivating. Field 20. Okay. At least we get to try out a new cultivator. Right, turn it off. Actually, while we're on that, where's field 123? Oh, okay, it's right over by the stores over the other side. Right over to the east. And then field 81 is where we got to do the soybean harvest. We've got a lot to get done. I have to say, it has made a massive difference. Whoa, this thing shifts 12 miles an hour. Wow, okay, cool. This shouldn't take too long. Take the beacons off, actually. What was I going to say? Oh, just completely lost my thread. Oh yeah, because I've got it set on 3-day months. Normally I play on 2-day months. And a lot of people say, oh, you should have it on 3 or more. And then you get more, the weather's more changeable, and also the weather forecast is more predictable. It works better. And also contracting, you'll get more contracts come up because there are more days per month, and it allows for the fact, you know, if you only got 1 day in a month, a lot of those contracts that would appear as you went through the month, it kind of skips past a lot of them. And I have found... Well, it's weird, on Carpathian, the first year I had loads, but I suppose that's when it's kind of settling itself in and finding its rhythm. As it stands at the moment, touch wood, there's been plenty of contracts to do, and considering we're a contracting company, that's brilliant. haven't had much weeding. There's been a couple of weeding contracts come up, and we haven't had any weeds come up in our fields yet. I thought Court Farm might get some, but potentially as we go into November we might get some weeds on Court. I'm just thinking, again, my head's on sort of 2-day months, so they kind of come round a lot quicker. So potentially as we move into either October 3 or November we might get weeds, so we might have some weeding we need to get done. So with my tractor, which obviously I've got to pay the loan off, so I'm going to need to be paid by KCC at some point because I've got interest payments to make. That bit of money I saved myself buying the MASSEY will only last so long making the payments. So we got that, and we got this cultivator. So we actually got some new equipment that's not borrowed or just delivered. So I know that was something people were worried about. But it's interesting as well. I know we have these conversations all the time. It always kind of surprises me that people have a very set idea of how they farm and how they want to see farming done when they watch a storyline or a let's play or whatever. And like I said before, a lot of times farmers will help each other out with equipment and machinery. They'll lend each other bits and bobs, or they'll give advice on stuff, or you can pick stuff up. I know a lot of the farm guys I watch will buy second-hand equipment. They'll get it from people that are just getting rid of stuff, or they'll make stuff themselves, or however they go about it. And the fact we're working for a contracting company, they have some of this equipment already. So the concept of stuff being delivered to me by the parent company is not bizarre. It's not so far out of the realms of possibility that it's so crazy, But people are very adamant of, well, but it's cheating, though, isn't it? Well, again, why is it cheating? Play the game however you want to play it. It's not cheating. It's just part and parcel of what happens. I could have leased it, any of it. I could borrow it from another farmer. But I don't know. So I thought, you know what? Let's buy some stuff. That way we can become a satellite, a subsidiary. What's the word when? Oh yeah, if Caleb wants to franchise his company so people can run a KCC franchise, we're the first franchise. But I'm going to need, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need to invest in a bigger tractor. But the thing is, my bank account, because I'm just contracting, I'm contracting for a contractor, so I'm sort of, it's like subletting, isn't it? I'm just earning a salary because I'm working for a contracting company. I'm not going to earn enough money to be able to afford to go and buy a big tractor unless I start taking on contracts of my own. But then if I'm using my boss's equipment to do contracting for myself, it's a bit more, you're on very dodgy ground at that point, aren't you? It's going to take a little while. Yesterday, October 1, it got dark around 4. By about 4:30, it was properly dark. So I've got to get this one done, 1, 2, 3 done, and then we'll go. Oh, I've got to get that harvest done, that soybean. Maybe that'll be in October 3, before we run into any withering or any problems. I know the farmer will be concerned because they'll want to get the crop off the ground, and they're going to want to start prepping, re-drilling. Whatever cultivation or fertilising they're going to want to do before winter hits. Winter, I don't know what we're going to do contract-wise. It depends what comes up. I don't know whether... That's a good point, actually. Forestry. Is there any forestry locally? Well, I don't know. Well, we'll see. There's going to be something. There'll be something to do. Oh, what happened there? So, let's get it done.
what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight.
I'm up at Court Farm grabbing the fertiliser spreader. I stopped at my little workshop down at Stonebridge and put narrows on the Claas. So what we're going to do is head down the hill. The Puma is back. Both of the contracts are done for the cultivating, as you've seen, should have seen. So what I'm going to do now is drop off the cultivator, grab the crop sensor and see if we can get some fertiliser on these two fields down here, since we've now got the soil sampling done. That's the plan. It all seems to be working out right. Very happy with it so far. Make sure I don't hit the wing mirror on a passing lorry, because that would make a real mess of the crop sensors on the wing mirrors. I can only imagine. I know when I said, I said about the VW, someone drove up the up our road and smashed my my side mirror on the van, and when the van went in for a service, the guy said to me, "Oh, do you want us to look at the mirror?" Quote me 600 and something quid to fix the side mirror. But the bracket's bent. It's you know, you can pick up a cheap mirror, you can put new glass in it, but the actual frame itself is bent at the bodywork. Whatever hit it, I mean, absolutely nailed it. So I can only imagine if you've got one of these sensors on your wing mirror as well. God blimey, that's an expensive fix, isn't it? So where did I put it? I know I didn't put it down in 5 minutes ago. Where are we? Oh, there we are. So what we'll do, if I back up here, almost at the point I'm going to put all the yard lights back on again. So we'll store this one in here, the cultivator. We'll drop that down, disconnect that, that's in, and we'll drop the sensor with the weight off, just there, put this back in the shed, back into the Claas. Let's get the sensor on. Head round to that field first, and there'll be a route round to the other field. It's got the crop in it. Let's get the lights back on. Hopefully this will allow me. It's got to be in an early growth stage. It's not. Is it here? There we go. So, fingers crossed. This is a 42? I can't remember. It's 42 or 36. I'm sure it's a 42, isn't it? Other thing we need to double check again. Oh, we complete on those while we're here. Complete and complete. What else are we looking at? Any more? No, some more cotton harvest. I'm not picking those up. Hoping for a large corn harvest to come up. That'd be quite handy. Let's put that on. Automatic application rate is on. Crop sensor. Do I have to turn the crop sensor on? Turn on crop sensor. There we go. So this should give us a more accurate reading Like I said, I haven't really used it before. Ah, that's not putting anything down. That's, I'm assuming, it won't let us then. It started to, right on the edge. Is it because there's already a crop in the ground? Has it gone past its first growth stage then? Oh, it has. Ah! Yep, it's not going to put anything down on here, is it? Oh, that's a pain. So there's going to be not a great yield on this one. Field opposite those in its first growth stage, so we might be alright on that one. Yep, it's not going to work. Okay. It was worth a try. Right, I need to drive round and go to the other side of that one. Let's turn it off. No, 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 no. Why is the crop sense not turning off? That's why we're driving so slow. That's weird. Why is that? Oh, it's that L1R1, isn't it? Right, back round. Fingers crossed the other field then, and that's where we'll finish off, I reckon. Me actually using a crop sensor for the first time. All the precision farming I've done, all the fertiliser spreading I've done, all the putting it down when we crops in the ground, and I don't think. I'm trying to think. Did I do it when it first came out? I'm thinking on Obeleron. Did I use it on Obeleron? I don't think I did. I've just always relied on the automatic application rate to be what it needs to be. I guess I need to look at the pH on this one as well. I'm not going to be able to do the pH till the next turnaround on the other two fields because they've already got crop in. I can't put lime on those, but I can definitely lime this one. So unfold that. Put that on. Switch to that. Fingers crossed. There we go. You can see the sensor moving ahead of it on the bottom left. Never really noticed that before. We are getting through this at quite a rate though. Turn the beacons on. Oh, so frustrated about the other field. Can we get round with what we got left, or are we going to have to go back and get some more? Probably wouldn't hurt to buy some more from the store actually, and get it brought down to Court Farm. So it should turn off. Actually, stop there a second, I don't need that as white, do I? I'm wasting it. Let's switch that back on. And let's go to that. Or one more. Let's try that. That's better. There's quite a lot going on, to be fair. Then we'll head over to about there. Let's open it back out again. Up to that one, do you reckon? Nope, need to go wider. Ah, that's annoying. There we go, that's better. I can come back and do that last little bit. Brilliant stuff. So, with that field working then, and we will still have a little bit left, that's good. Crop sensor seems to be doing its job. We are done for this episode on Court Farm. We've got some new equipment. I've got a new tractor. Again, more contract work is needed. We have more bills to pay now because I've got to pay off the loan on my little MASSEY. Could I have got something else? Probably, but I wanted that. Wasn't a bad price either. So there we go. We have got some pHing to do. We've got that soybean contract that I picked up. There we go. So we can turn that off, fold that. That can go off. And we can head back. That can go off. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm still loving it. Views are dropping, but I'm enjoying being on here. So anyway, if you're still with me, if you're still watching, thanks very much. If you are enjoying it, if you have been enjoying it, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.